Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Real Raw Reasonings with Faith. As you can see, this video is called You, and You. It may seem like it's like you, and you, but it's actually you, and you. This channel is called Real Raw Reasonings, so let's just get right into it. So everyone has been raised differently. If you were raised by parents who lack support in any specific area, that your individual personality is extremely affected by this kind of lack, there will be a disconnect between you and your spirit. Side note, if you guys seen my first video, our parents are not perfect. They had less resources. They went through a bunch of different things the enemy has put out there to, affect their heart, affect their dignity, which caused them to not be perfect people. We are imperfectly perfect people, but some of us have been affected more than others and vice versa. I want to give a shout out to Real Talk Kim because she is an influencer, but she's a pastor actually in Texas. And she honestly took exactly what I just said. That came out of my own head, my spiritual way of putting it. And she basically correlated that to something that has to do with God. And she's a pastor, so she speaks on Christ and God. But she basically said how, these tribulations that we face are all due to a big favor that God has on our lives, a true calling from God to just bring us back to the motherland. There is an enemy out there. There are bad people out there who are very selfish and messed up and want everything to be for them, which really makes no sense, because what good can you do really all by yourself, especially with that kind of selfish energy, right? But she really just correlated that. So I really want to shout out to her. I'm going to put her information down below so you guys can also watch some of her videos and her daily readings. And she really gets into the Bible. Shout out to Pastor Kim. She mentioned this also because she also says that if you really only listen to you, only you, and you don't let other people affect you or their words affect you, you will be able to get in touch with this true calling. I really want to just tap in a little bit into God because He's very big in my life. Every single day I pray. I try my best to pray every single day. I'm not perfect. Pastor Kim really pointed out as well how the enemy will use people who are either permanently or momentarily conflicted to discourage you from your true calling, from what you feel and what you think in your mind that you really want to do. Then you're hearing people telling you, no, you can't do it. That stuff is real, guys. It's very, very real. And I actually want to get into a story that I heard a little while ago. It's about been a year, but it's stuck with me so much because it's incredible how true it is. The story, I got it from some random website, but I think I heard it somewhere. It said that the D word, which I will not mention the name, he had a garage sale, yard sale, and everything was for sale except for one thing. This one thing is discouragement. It's not for sale because with this one thing, this tool, once I get it into a person's heart, I can put anything into it that I want. And it really touched me because it's like, it's true. When somebody gets discouraged about something, all of a sudden they're willing to just do negative things because they lost complete faith and hope in what they really wanted. It's really big. Discouragement is something that it really affects people. We live in a world where people's hearts have been changed due to discouragement. But God says that with me, you have peace. With the faith in me, you have peace. In the world, you have tribulations. But don't worry, because He's overcome the world. And when I tell you this is so true, and once you start believing, you'll start seeing. It's true, guys. Give it a chance. But anyways, outside of God, we're going to get right outside of God because I really want to just tap into the fact that God wasn't the way that I really got into all of my development. I had looked I'm an intellectual person. I am intrigued and attracted to knowledge and learning. And I have a whole journey that I had went through starting 2017, where I started with the color personality test by Markera something.com, which I will also be putting down below. I took this color personality quiz in maybe like 2017, and it's basically, it tells you about red, blue, green, and yellow. If you have red as your dominant color, it's more about being a leader, being very powerful, being very strong-willed, and very like leadershipy. And blue is very cool, would go with the flow, party person, you know, sociable. Green is about being intellectual, wanting to learn a lot, being a Google head. This is just basic, brief explanation, but just being really like into that kind of stuff. And then yellow is about being really like nurturing, loving, giving, and just caring for people and the sentimental side of life. So when I took this test, my dominant function was actually yellow. It actually gives you a good percentage, so you're able to see which one you're more dominant in. Like it'll be like 60% yellow, 50% red, or 40% blue, 50% green. So you can be mixed up, but there is like a more dominant one that you have. So with this being said, when I first learned about the color personalities, I was like, wow, it made me see like, yeah, you know, that is kind of true. I do like to be really like helpful and loving and caring with people, and I like to understand people's emotions, and I like to console people when they're sad, even though I never really used to console my own emotions when I was sad. That's a whole different story that actually has to do with my astrology and something else that I'm about to get into real soon. So that is really like my first step of like just trying to discover myself. I'm gonna put that website link down below, so you guys can just tap into just the basic start. It's really cool. You know, they also give you a video and it tells you a little bit more about it. Next that I did, probably a year after that, probably in like 2018, was the Myer-Briggs personality test. And based on the Myer-Briggs personality test, this was actually one that I learned a whole lot. Like I really got deeper into my personality. It's a very long test. I'm gonna put also the website down below as well. It turns out with that information that I took, that very long test, that I'm an INFJ. We are like the most extroverted introvert there is. There are 16 different personality types. I'm not going to get into every single one. I am going to give you guys the resources to tap into your own personality, but I'm not a specialist in the Myer-Briggs personality type quiz. But there are very different kinds of people. So if I want to briefly just get into that, you're either introverted or extroverted. Even though there's 16 different types, that's why I just explained that I'm like the most extroverted introvert. I don't really, know the details of why and where this test came about from, but it's very, 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 very precise and original in the way they set this test up. S stands for sensing and N stands for intuition. So the way I perceive this is like sensing is you're paying attention to your five senses all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're more out just paying attention to your senses. N stands for intuition, meaning you really rely a lot on the thoughts that come when you feel something, like when you step into a room and the energy you feel, or that's a little more intuitive. T and F, thinking and feeling. Mine is feeling. So I do think I use my brain a lot, but my dominant function is feeling, because people are moved by emotions. Even though I've tapped into a way of not letting my emotions get to me and using my brain more, because emotions can be bad if you let them take over you. Yeah, I'm really into feeling, and then thinking is when you use your brain more, you use logic more, you don't really pay attention to emotions, you really just think it out and just be like, oh no, this is what it is, whether you're based on intuition or sensing. You can have a mix of all, right? And then it's judging, J and P. I'm J, judging, and there's perceiving. So when it comes to J and P, I feel like judging is a person being like a little bit knowing that things are not always the way it seems. So I do judge things, and I don't just do things based on my perception, because I know my perception growing up was not perfect. Like, I realized, my parents, the way I was raised, I understood things the way they had taught it, but it's way bigger than that too. So that judging function of mine kind of helped me step out of the perceiving thing based on my own perception. I do think P is kind of like you're established in your own perception. Once you get to know which, I want you guys to be as accurate as possible too. You don't want to be around anyone who, well, you're taking this test because you want to just literally just be as real and honest as possible. And it's okay no matter what you are, because you're able to, who you are, you're able to work with. You're able to, just structure yourself the way you want to, and also accept yourself for who you are and what are your dominant functions. Because everybody and every type of personality type is needed. There's actually a label for every personality type. All 16 have all 16 types of personalities have like a name for it. INFJ is labeled the advocate. So here I am advocating self. Hello. This test literally helped me tap into so much. I really do recommend everyone take this test, because this test has helped me just understand why I didn't understand certain things, why I didn't relate to certain people, why I questioned certain things. It literally helped me understand myself a lot more. And like I said, you want to do it when you're by yourself, because you don't want nobody's influence. You don't want to just, feel like you have to put a certain answer because someone's around you. And, I know people want to say they're not fake or this and that, but it's not even that. Some people are just, it's human nature to just want to, keep the same appearance all the time, even though I feel like we are all ever-changing beings. Some are more stubborn than others, but we are built to change, to grow, to excel, to improve. And this test definitely helped me tap in. So we'll definitely be putting the link below. You'll definitely be able to find it down there. And yeah, this is one very big step that helped me on my self-development journey. So tapping into the Myer Briggs personality type, I was also able to just differentiate what did I not like about it. I realized certain things about myself that I knew I had to work on if I wanted to pursue a certain kind of career, or if I wanted to be a better person in general in God's world. Because there are certain things that can affect you, like being too sensitive and being too over emotional. You're blocking yourself from certain blessings. We have to be strong as people. And the thing is that God instills all of this in us at birth, and then we're born into the world where we have to just adapt to whatever our circumstances are. But truth be told, that's our circumstances. They just define the right now, but they don't define your destiny. So much more when you tap into who you really are and see the power you have when you actually listen to yourself and your voice inside your head that tells you, oh, I really want to do this, or I really believe I can do this if I just worked on this, And when you tap into that stuff and you really don't let anyone get into your head, you become so much more powerful. When you actually take your time to be by yourself and do research. Like myself, I did mention I like intellectual things. So, for some people, this may not be their way of getting into things. I think Real Talk Kim is really amazing when it comes to her tapping into people who are more spiritual, religious, And I also want to say there is definitely a big difference between being spiritual and being religious. There are people who are spiritual in ways that have nothing to do with God, but there's different ways of learning. For me, I use a bit of everything, but I did think that my thirst for knowledge and my thirst to just research, I think that really helped me become so big on things. And it's also an INFJ trait to be very well-rounded because, like I said, we're both sensitive and rational. And I guess me being rational a lot and in certain situations made me realize I can't be so sensitive. And then I just started just letting everything be me. I let myself feel my emotions, because when I was younger, I didn't let myself feel anything. I just shrugged everything off my shoulders. I would cry at home, but then I would go outside and just have a good old time with friends and not care about anything, you know? And every day I was putting my emotions in the back burner. And then with time I realized, like, I'm not happy. I'm really not happy. And there's something missing. I wanted to move. I wanted to do different things. But then I realized this can't be it, because I know if I move, one, I'm away from certain people I love, and it's like, it just didn't make sense. It wasn't going to make sense. I'm like, there has to be a way for me to do it right here, right now. If I just close everything off and I just focus, like, maybe I can figure this out. And I researched and I researched. And yeah, I got into the color personality test, Myer Briggs. And next we're going to talk about numerology. There's a website that I'm also gonna put the link to their website down below. You know, you can tap into just learning about your life path number, your expression number, your personality number, and your like birthday number or something like that. And they all signify something. I feel like all of this really made me inspired, because I really did relate to it. And everybody has different numbers, and when you go on Google, you can also see that it's not like no fake stuff. Like the life path number, there's like from 1 to like 9, and then there's like 3 other like special numbers. My life path number is a 3. I'm very like creative in my own way, and just blah blah blah. It's a whole thing to it. Then there's an expression number that just determines, it's like 5 different expression numbers. Then there's a personality number. I think there's like 4 different it's very, you know, everything can be customized. So you can have similar things in certain ways and then have a different life path number. But it's all very customized, personalized, and I really do believe in it. I really think that it helped me see things, and even doing with ex-partners and stuff, you know, and telling them about these type of things and just comparing. And we both realized that this is really dope. This is really cool. And we were both able to just realize, like, there's bigger things out there. So numerology, I'm going to put the link to that below. You know, it's a brief thing. I didn't get too deep into it. I didn't pay for anything. It was free. I took the test and I just took that information and I kept it with me. I didn't pay for anything, like I said. Then a main thing, astrology. Astrology, like, let's talk about astrology, y'all, because astrology is major. Like, it's major. And people do think, oh, you know, I'm a Virgo, or I'm an Aries, and not every Aries is like me. No. Yeah, that's true. Every Aries is not like you, because I'm gonna briefly just explain this. At the time that you were born, all the planets, the astrology is about planets. So at the time that you were born, every planet had a different planetary aspect in the sky around the world. And it all determines something different. So we all have a different sign in every planet based on the time that we were born. That's just very brief. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not an astrology expert either. I'm very much an expert on myself because I did so much research. But that's really the basic I can tell you. I can also give you a bunch of resources so that you guys can just, you know, just get into yourself. But like, when you do research, guys, I'm telling you, if you want to learn, go out there and learn. I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is learn. I feel like the system, I'm not going to get into this, but the system makes it so hard for people to have an education. But guess what, y'all? Google is real, and, you know, green is not my dominant color function, but I do use Google very often as well. And you know, another thing, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. But, you know, there's certain things that you're going to just have this feeling. And this is why intuition is my dominant Myer-Briggs function. But I really got to get intuition and feeling like there's something about this that's true. Let me just research some more. And that's what I use, you know. But like I said, you know, just Googling and just researching stuff is such a good way to just tap in to just all the different aspects, because like I said, the education system it's very, very structured in a specific way. And, you know, right now in this time and age, we have access. We have a lot of access. And, you know, you can get degrees online now. You can have courses online now. I have a bunch of different websites that, you know, you can even look up free courses online. This whole thing I'm doing here is really so that people can have an extra outlet, extra resources without having to leave their home, without having to, you know, of course you want to leave your home once you become the person you want to be and stuff, because that's what God wants. God is about relationships. God is about, you know, building other people while, you know, showing them, enlightening them with yourself, because we are all on a journey, like I said, to just be who we want to be and be happy. And people don't realize that money is really not the only way to be happy. You really want to be internally happy. You really want to be doing what you really like to do, not just because this is trending and this is that. Like, you know, I like to stay home, but I like to get drunk and, you know, anyways, I like to do a bunch of different things. Or just because I want to influence people, you know, I still have a lot of things I have to work on, but these are my personal things, you know, that actually help me and make me feel good, you know, and reading and learning is definitely one of them for me. And I think teaching and influencing and just spreading goodness to people and spreading like the word that helped me get more into myself, that really is top notch for me. It's number one, and it's helped me become so much more in tune with my spirit and what makes me feel happy, because everybody's spirit, you know, has a different purpose, you know. And my spirit's purpose could be to influence and advocate for the underdogs and the people who feel like they don't have a voice, because I didn't always feel like I could speak. I actually had speech issues growing up, you know. I kind of still stutter a lot. But yeah, like anybody else's could be to be an engineer or to just build the newest thing. And I feel like everybody has a bunch of things that they can really commit to and just connect with once they get in tune with themselves. So this really is the episode about you. I want you to realize who you are and tap in and become so profusely enlightened and big on yourself that nothing could really tear you down. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It's not easy and it's not simple, because at the start of a lot of these videos, I've been nervous. I'm like, how am I going to say this? Sometimes I think I stutter too much, or I say a lot. And actually my voice is really out right now because I just came from a vacation and I was screaming a lot, having a good time. But yeah, like I really doubt myself as well. Ain't nobody perfect, y'all. So personally, I think that me going out there and speaking on what I've learned and putting my resources in my description is gonna help a lot of people just, you know, realize like, I want to be myself. I don't want to be like this person or that person. Like, you know, like I have my own personal personality, and this is just how I move. This is how I do. But you have something special about you that somebody else really needs. And YouTube has made everything so possible. So I also want to shout out to YouTube, because this platform is amazing. Instagram is also pretty dope. Love Instagram. So many things, and just screen recording and just putting things out there is just amazing. So yeah, tap into you guys. This is all about you guys. I have so many links below, and I'm just excited for you guys to just get on your self journey and just be your natural, immovable self. You know, this is the goal. This is what this year is bringing about, being unapologetically yourself. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you don't want to stay toxic, though. We're going to talk about toxicity and just being better as an individual, actually, in my next video. But I'm still working on that. Every week, you know, it's kind of like by Wednesday or Thursday where I really get the topic of my Saturday vlog based on what I feel like is strong at the moment, based on what I feel is urgently needed. And right now, I think self is so important, because if you are just moving based on what is trending and what your friends are doing, you're really just wasting your life doing things that in the future you're just gonna be like, oh, well, it was kind of fun, but I would have rather been doing this. I would have rather been doing that. I would have rather been working out, doing yoga. I would have rather been out volunteering, helping people. Or I would have been rather like just doing other stuff, spending time with family than partying so much, or doing this, or learning who my dad or my mother is, you know. I would have rather been building a relationship with my best friend or my partner, you know. And it's so much deeper. You really do want to focus on who you have in your life at the moment, because like I said, God is about relationships, you know. And these relationships that we are in are put on our paths for a reason. So either we could learn or a lesson, or we can grow with them, or we can teach them something, or we can, you know, build something. It's always something behind something. There's a lot of research you guys are gonna really want to do after these videos. Basically, I'm just the outlet for you guys to get into different things. Once I tell you about the color personality, you're gonna start looking it up on YouTube, learning different things. YouTube, Google, whatever. On Myer, Briggs, there's actually a guy that he actually makes videos. I think his name is Frank James, and I'm gonna actually tag him below as well, because he created like a humorous channel based on all of the personality types, and he actually made it more fun to learn about my Myer-Briggs, because I started watching and I was just cracking up, because some of them I was just like, that's so relatable, like, yeah, that's definitely me, it's so funny. And I just thought he was so cool, and it wasn't until I took the test that I got influenced to look on YouTube, what about INFJs, or what about this and that, and personality compatibility between two different kinds of Myer-Briggs, and you know, just different stuff. And you just tap into things, and just hearing things one time, I'll tell you something, word of mouth is so big, because you hear something and you're able to just like, your mind just opens up. You know, a lot of people talk about the same thing over and over again, so we're like stuck in this loop. But YouTube is amazing, because you could just look up whatever and learn about whatever. And once your brain and your spirit hears this and the information, it's like, wait, I've never heard this before. Hold on, what's going on? That's true. Then you hear something inside you like, I like that, or I relate to that. Tap in. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. Don't shut it up. Tap in. Learn about it, because your soul is yearning to be found. Your soul is yearning to be free. And for you to be free and not touched by everything around that likes to just like discourage and distract and just, you know what I'm saying? We don't need that. Honestly, I think sharing knowledge and sharing the fact that you like to learn and you like to get into it yourself makes people be like, oh, that's probably a cool thing. Let me get into it myself. It's a very, you know, it's a very different world right now, and I feel like right now it's so much to learn and so much to get into. But with my messed up voice right now, I am so excited to just continue my channel and continue sharing with you guys all the amazing different things that I've learned about, tuned into, and that have helped me get into myself. Because honestly, truth be told, every single day, if you ask anybody who really knows me, I am always looking to improve. I'm always, you know, just trying to be my best self and being in the best peace of mind. And ever since I tapped into all this self-development and putting God and my spirituality and just my own self into it, you know, I feel good. You know, I really do feel good. I still grieve. And I think that is actually something that just, you know, it's just normal. It's like something I can't change. But, you know, besides that, though, it's either I'm going to let something break me down 100%, or I'm going to let it make me so passionate that nothing could stop me, because guess what? Like, I'm going to be okay. I have that inside me. I have him inside me. I have his spirit and his whole self inside me, and I'm going forward, y'all. I'm going forward, and everybody should go forward no matter what happens. Period. Love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.